Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. I specialize in games that can be played in 20 minutes or less, and this is my top 5 list for games you can play at the beach, pool, lake. Basically, your considerations are water, sand, dirt, and wind. So these are all very portable games that are fun to play, great for both kids and adults. I have them listed in the description of the video along with the timestamp if you want to skip to a particular one. So let's get started. First up, we have Cinco Linko, and as the name suggests, all you're trying to do is get 5 tiles in a row in order to win. And this game was built to be portable. It's on a little clip with a carabiner, and we tested this out at quite a few beaches and pools, and it got sand all over it. It just kind of washed off afterwards. It was very easy. We could play it on a beach towel, and it was fine. And I really like this game because of where you can play it. There are precious few games that do well out and about, but also it's easy enough that anybody can pick it up very quickly, and it plays well 2, 3, or 4 players. So you have a lot of options there. You can have people hop in and just start playing who have no idea what to do, but the game rules are so easy. Just place a tile down, and it has to be adjoined to another tile, and then you're trying to get 5 in a row. So it's easy enough that kids can play, but it's complex enough that there's actually quite a bit of strategy there, because once you get all the tiles laid out, it doesn't just end in a tie. You get to then pick up tiles and place them in new locations. And so sometimes you're picking them up out of the middle. And so there's new opportunities there for people to try to work to get 5 in a row. And especially with 4 players, there's a lot going on there, but it still plays really well with 2 or 3. So this is like Connect 4, but up a few levels, and it still works really well with kids. But as an adult, I really enjoy it, and it's great for grown-ups too. Next up, we have Hive. This durable tile game is just so portable, and it seems like this ends up on everyone's travel list. It's great for restaurants, and it's amazing at beaches, pools, because you outside tiles do really well. You can play them anywhere, and if they get a little gunk on them, it's easy to clean off. The goal of the game is, this is very much like chess, but unlike chess, I do much better at this game, and I really enjoy it. And it seems like a lot of people that aren't as into chess really like this game, which is cool and interesting. So the goal of the game is you're placing out these tiles, and you're trying to surround your opponent's queen bee tile. You make it so she's completely surrounded, and then you win the game. And like chess, you have a bunch of different pieces that all have unique movements, but in this, they're all bugs. And instead of having them out on the board already and then pieces getting captured, you take turns placing new tiles out on the board. On your turn, you can either place a new tile, and then once enough have been placed out there, you can start moving them, and they each have different movements. There's a queen bee, spiders, beetles, grasshoppers, and soldier ants in the original set. They all have unique movements, and I think it's what makes it nicer for a lot of people than traditional chess is that nothing ever gets captured by another player and removed from the board. You're constantly adding, and the hive is shifting as you're adding more pieces and having them move around. So it doesn't feel like you just get wiped out and your queen gets taken. It feels like you're also trying to navigate and move around theirs, and sometimes even if they win, you're only 1 or 2 moves away from getting their queen bee. So it just feels like a closer matchup. But it's so great. This is the most strategic game on this list. Kids can play, but this is much more of an adult level game. It is likely if you get this and you like it, you're going to play it a lot and be very into the game. They do have a few expansions then, because it can kind of feel like, oh, I just have these same 5 pieces to work with. So there are pill bugs, ladybugs, and mosquito expansions if you just get really into the game, which if you try it out and you like it, you definitely will. Next up, we have Zombie Dice. This is my boy's favorite pool game. all you're doing in this push your luck dice game is you're rolling for brains. That is it. It was very fun on the 4th of July, having my boys chanting brains, brains, brains at the side of the pool. I don't know what people thought, but it was super fun, and we were so into the game, and this is such a great one to bring along because it's really quick. It seems like everyone ends excited about the game, win or lose. You have turns where you're rolling 3 dice at a time, and there are just 3 things that can come up. It's a shotgun, feet, or brains. And you are the zombies, and you're trying to get brains. And if you roll too many shotguns, then your turn is wiped out. None of the brains you collected counts, and dice get moved on to the next player, and you're trying to get to a total of 13 brains first. I love everything about this game, except for the gross zombie picture on the box. Just fair warning. That was a big deterrent to me for getting the game for a while, because with kids, and it's just, surely there are better alternatives, but the game is just so good, and the dice are fine. It's just literally the container they're in that have the gross picture, so keep that in mind. But kids, go nuts for this. Push your luck games are great. Dice games are great at the pool. We just put it out on a towel. You only have to throw 3 dice at a time, so it's super easy, but literally everyone we've introduced this to likes this game, and it is so fun. Next up, we have a classic. If rolling zombie dice is not your thing, perhaps you would prefer to pass the pigs and roll little pig dice. The dice are pigs. They're these little, very sturdy plastic pigs, and it is hysterical. This is like a classic camping game, but it's just so portable, and it is amazing for beach, pool, lake. You roll the dice and try to get different combinations, and you push your luck. It depends on how the pigs land, if they're on their back, if they're leaning forward, if you get a leaning jowler. They're just amazing names for the different rolls you can get, and you're trying not to pig out. If you get a certain combination where the pigs are on their sides, and 1 dot up and 1 with no dot up, then you lose all of your points for that round, and you have to pass the pig dice on to the next player, and it's just first to 100 points wins. So this is great if you're trying to practice some summer math skills with kids. You have to it's very exciting to add up your scores. The pigs are cute. The gameplay is, again, so easy. I just love push your luck games. It seems like everyone does it really well. People can still get, kids in particular, can get sad or hurt feelings if things don't go right, but it's the dice that aren't going right. It's not anybody else doing a mean thing to them. So, and the games are quick enough that you can say, oh yeah, that one didn't go your way. Let's try again. Maybe you'll be lucky this time. So it's just, this one is so great, so portable. So this is another great option. And finally, we have Yamslam, which is just one of my favorite dice games. It's kind of like updated Yahtzee. And you are rolling dice and trying to earn chips and get the highest score at the end of the game. And this is great for outside because it's just dice and like little poker chips that you use to keep score. And how gameplay works is you take turns rolling, and unlike Yahtzee where you have your own individual scorecard and you're trying to get different combinations on that, there's a community amount of chips out there, and if you keep on getting large straights, you can get every large straight chip if you're really lucky, and then there is actually a bonus for that in the game. So they have a bunch of different dice combinations you're trying to roll. This is just such a great family level game, but even if you play a lot of games, it's really fun. Kids do really well. People get really used to the idea of roll the dice 3 times, save the different combinations that you like, and go for something. And what I really like in this one is a Yamslam is a Yahtzee where you have all of the dice are the same number. But unlike in Yahtzee where I would inevitably cross out the Yahtzee because it was never going to happen, and then sometimes you get it at the end of the game and, oh, I finally got the Yahtzee and it didn't count for something, it always counts for something in this game. And so you just get to take whatever the highest value chip is left when you get a Yamslam, and then you get another turn and you get to go again and try for something else. So It's really nice. It's very rewarding to play. And they have a very compact version of this, which is just perfect to take along with you wherever you go. So that's it for my top 5 games to play at beach, pool, lake. We end up using these games quite a bit. It's amazing how many times a kid just needs a break from the water for a few minutes, or the kids are actually playing on their own, and my husband and I get to have a little gaming break together. So these get a lot of use in our house. So I hope you found a good one, and we'll see you next time at Game Like a Mother.